Hey guys, today we are going to take you to one of our favorite places we visited so far.
South Dakota.
South Dakota. We really enjoyed our time there. We traveled during COVID, so we weren't sure really what to expect, and it turned out to be absolutely amazing. A perfect break from all the craziness, and one of our favorite experiences so far. And you look amazing, by the way. Gorgeous. All decked out in like South Dakota style.
Is this a South Dakota
Southwest and northeast.
It's kind of like a Midwest. South
Midwest.
Dakota.
Anyway, roll it.
One of our favorite parts about RV traveling is actually to travel with friends, and we were able to do this in South Dakota with our friends, Chief Wildcrew.
It was our first experience traveling with another family. That was always like a dream for us, like, oh, we're gonna get in an RV and we're gonna find our own little tribe and we're just gonna travel around the world together, play guitars, raise each other's kids. You know, it was like a vision. We did not get that the first year in our RV travels. It was very, very lonely. We didn't know the right campgrounds, we didn't know the right groups, and so we were by ourselves almost the whole time, and it was really frustrating. We almost gave up because it was very lonely. So this was our first experience actually traveling with another family, and it was everything we hoped it would be. It really met our expectations.
I'm talking to the rat. I'm talking to the I'm talking to the pig. Slow.
You're doing your kids first, dude.
No way. David doesn't.
He's like, I'm hungry.
He's already got food.
Who else?
Way down.
All right, give me a tour. What is it you're baking?
So, right now, I baked 2 mint shakes. And right now I'm going to fill this up with dirt for powdered sugar.
Cool. Where's your baking station? Where are you guys doing it?
Over here,
Show me the tour.
I have a ton of bottles because we have to use water.
Okay.
So I got bottles.
Okay, show me.
I drink most of them though.
Oh. Oh, did you got bottles with water in them from our place?
Sir. I drink most of them though.
Oh. Well, that's interesting. Okay, show me your oven.
Yes, you have a huge one.
Oh.
Big snapping
That's a big old comet. Right over here. Get that guy in. Get him in. Get your head up.
You're not going to get your hand there.
I'm not gonna get my hand in his face.
This guy.
Get away.
Oh, I see.
I'm here with Christy. She is the part of the Chief Wild Crew. She's the wild part. Or maybe the chief part, I'm not sure. The chief, that's right.
Chief all the way.
I'm here with Amik,
Oh, hello.
and he is replacing these steps. A very difficult job. As you see, these have to be tucked away and the other one has to be fastened. If they're not fastened right, they'll come out while you're driving. It's terrible. Fortunately, he's got the skills.
Thankfully, I'm a step above the others.
Yes, yes. I like it. Keep the comedy coming. Okay, 3, 2. Oh, Mr. Brooks.
So with traveling with our friends, not only was it really cool to be able to see all the sights together, but also we got to go grocery shopping together. The kids had someone to play with all the time, and we even had a pizza night in their pizza oven.
We meant to do that.
Yeah, when we first started traveling with them, we sat down and talked and said, hey, we don't know what this is normally like, but let's make some ground rules so we make sure we don't annoy the heck out of each other. And we said, if at any point you don't want to get together, you just want to do a family night, I mean, we're right beside each other, and we're going to be beside each other for several weeks. If at any point you want your alone time, just text and say, hey, we're going to do a family night tonight. And that way it's an easy exit, and that was really a smooth deal. There were times that sometimes you're like, my kids need to have alone time. They need to be away, take a little break, and they were able to do that. So I think that was a cool experience for us. We weren't sure what to expect, but once we got in there, it just really was smooth.
Our first stop in South Dakota was the Ingalls Homestead in De Smet. And that was really cool because Eli's been reading the Little House on the Prairie books, and Laura Ingalls Wilder actually lived on this homestead when she was a kid, and the book The Long Winter was actually based on her time there.
We did not read the books.
No.
So honestly, to us, it was like just a random place in South Dakota, but Eli was thrilled, and once we got there, we were very happy we went. But I did debate it a little bit. I was like, why are we wasting our time with this place? Like, I don't even know anything about this. Is it really worth it? And good news, it was worth it. There were so many cool things to do on this property, and it was very historic. We were excited once we got there and got involved and really saw what it was about. We were really happy we went there.
Yeah, a lot of hands-on learning, which the kids really enjoyed. They got to make their own jump ropes.
Yeah, yours is on the pivot.
Who let the ox in the room?
Keep it tight.
Get it, Brooks. Shrink that joker. Do this arm, yeah. Switch arm. Ah! You go.
Daddy, help him.
He's got it.
They got to make these corn cob dolls. They learned how to twist hay into these logs, and that's what they actually used back in that time to burn for fuel for so they could be warm, because it was so cold at night and they didn't have any woods on the prairie, no wood to burn, so they would make these hay logs to burn.
Yeah, and that's, I think it's mentioned in the book they wrote about that winter specifically, was that the trains couldn't get there to bring them any supplies. And of course it's winter time, so we don't think about that now. We just go to the grocery store regardless of what time of year it is. We can get strawberries year round. I'm not sure how that's possible. But at that time, you know, if the train didn't come in, I mean, your family might even starve or freeze to death. I mean, it was so crazy. So they were able to be very resourceful and make logs out of hay. And it was really neat. They showed us how to spin it all together, and then, you know, all the different methods they used just to keep their families alive during that time. And the kids got to walk around and see it and be in the barn and play with the horses and run around in the big open field. And the cool part is that kind of learning sticks with them the rest of their life. Like if we told them about a prairie, or we told them about the spinning of the hay, they might, you know, remember it for a year or so, and maybe that would be something that clicks. But the fact that they were there and they did it, and then we were there with friends, I don't think they'll ever forget that. I don't think the Twickenham Ferry goes quite like that.
There was just so many hands-on learning experiences that they loved, and also we got to stay in our RV right there on the property. They have maybe 4 RV sites, so it's water and electric, and so we were able to stay there. And even once the place closed, there were still some outdoor things that they could do until the sun went down. So they got to learn how to wash clothes in the wash basin thing. I don't know. Yes. There was a little barn with these cute little baby kittens.
Oh, we got to pause on that.
Oh my goodness.
The kittens were so spectacular. I mean,
it was a highlight.
It was funny, you know, I mean, everyone loves cute little cuddly things, but to see Eli and Isaac spending most of their time in that barn cuddling the kittens was really fun. I got a little video of that too, but the kittens were just super tiny and just playing with each other, and it just took you away from all life's cares and just made you and melted you into a little kid at that moment. We really enjoyed that, among all the other things we got to do there, but the kittens were definitely a highlight. Okay, now for the exciting part. We got to be in our first tornado in the RV. Y'all, this was crazy. Now, growing up in Alabama, I got to experience tornadoes on a regular basis. There was a season for that, and it would come through. And in fact, anytime the weather changed drastically, if it was hot outside and then a couple minutes later it was starting to get cooler, there was going to be a tornado.
Tornadoes is one of my greatest fears. I don't like tornadoes, and so to go through this experience was pretty scary and traumatizing.
Okay, so we're almost asleep. The weather was kind of crazy.
It was about 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, and the weather, we could kind of see it in the distance earlier in the night, a lot of lightning and stuff, but nothing was showing up on the weather app that there was any like really bad weather. So we just started, you know, going to bed not knowing that this is gonna get crazy. So all of a sudden my phone starts going crazy with the text alerts saying that there is a tornado that has been spotted and it is coming our way. So I don't know what county we're in. I don't know where we're at, really, in the middle of nowhere, South Dakota. So I had to look up Google Maps. Where is this at? Where is that? Okay, no, it is literally coming right for us. He does have a lot more experience with bad weather. So yeah, he goes outside. He's not outside even 5 seconds. He comes back in and says, we need to go to the storm shelter. So here we are with these other people, you know, next to us and our friends. And so I said, you go and knock on their doors and let them know that there's a tornado coming.
Once she told me that, I mean, once we looked outside, I mean, you could see the lightning was just right after another. You could really see the clouds moving really fast. Like, you had all the signs that a tornado could touch down at any moment. Yeah. So I was like, okay, you know what? This is good. I mean, I love tornadoes, but I don't want to be in an RV. As you might know, like, mobile homes are magnets for RVs for some reason.
Exactly.
And we did not want to be in that. So I got my shoes on really quick. I ran outside. The first thing I did is set up my camera so we could get some good video. If I'm going to lose the RV, I want to see it on film. I mean, that's the way I think of things here. I want to see it. Ayamik was like, what's going on? Like, dude, there's a tornado. We got to go. He's like, no problem. Give me a couple minutes. We'll be out of there. So went back to my RV, and Michelle's got the kids up. They're getting their shoes on real quick. And she says, we're going to go to the storm shelter. I go to knock on the door of the other RVs, because there were a couple RVs there in the same spot. So I went over there after seeing that Michelle was getting everybody ready. She said, okay, meet me and we'll go to the shelter. And I said, perfect. Well, then as I'm coming back to the RV, I see a vehicle pull up. And I thought I saw Michelle and the kids run over to get in the truck. So I thought, oh, we're all driving to the shelter. This makes sense, because I didn't know of a shelter around there. So I go over and I open the truck door and nobody's in there. And I'm like, oh, this is crazy. And then I remember, oh, the battery in the GoPro is about to die. I need to replace that. So I ran in real quick. That was the priority. I thought, oh, they got to be back in the RV. So I ran in there. I didn't see them, but I did get the battery, and I replaced the GoPro battery. I ran back to the truck, and the other truck was gone. And Michelle and the kids are gone. And by this point, the storm is right on us. It's like lightning every 3 seconds, and the rain is coming sideways. And I'm like, where did everybody go? Like, they're all gone to this shelter. So I come out and this one guy is running like to the back of the RV, which is the opposite of the truck. And in the midst of this, I left the truck door open. I'm not sure how that happened. So I shut the door. I come back to where he's at. I'm like, hey, where are we heading? He said, oh, the shelter's back here. Opposite way I was thinking. I would have been just running into the road, I guess. So I quickly get, you know, I grab anybody else around, and we all run into like the darkness.
Yes.
Like, you can't see anything, and we're like, where are we going? Does anyone know where we're going? And they're all following me at this point. And I'm like, I don't know where I'm going. Somebody just pointed this direction. So at that point, I got my flashlight and I'm trying to shine because there was like a wooden fence somewhere in there and I wasn't sure where that was. And I'm telling you, it's literally pitch dark, and except with the lightning, and you're like, every time the lightning hits, you're like, oh,
like a strobe light.
am I even going in the right direction? So we get all our stuff together. Everybody's dragging like pillows, blankets, kids, and we're like stepping over this stuff, and we finally get into the shelter.
I call it the T word. We only say it when we really have to.
Nice. Well, I'm just glad there was a shelter here.
Yeah.
Man,
Whoa! Whoa! Step in. This is.
that was right.
That was really
That was
close.
right there. Woo! Woo! Yeah, that was good.
Fortunately, we found out that it did not actually touch down on the RV. Fortunately, we survived it. But man, it was pretty serious. And even in the GoPro video I got, I saw very close to what looked like a little circular funnel cloud about to form, and then it kind of disappears. So I think it could have been close. We sustained no damage on the RV despite the very high winds.
Yeah.
That's why you put your awning in at night, people. That's why we're telling you this whole story. Before you go to bed every night, put your awning in, all right? Because I'm fairly certain it would not have been there if we had left it out.
We would have lost the awning.
That was some
for sure.
serious wind and rain. It was pretty crazy. But a great experience to be there at the Ingalls Homestead, and on the top of that hill, just, you know, looking over everything.
So beautiful. Definitely worth the drive up there. Even if you don't stay there, you just make it a day trip. It is really special.
That was our first experience in South Dakota. Fortunately, I mean, it was amazing, but it got better. Michelle did not cross it off because they have tornadoes. And we're going to tell you more about that in the next one. So definitely come back. Click that link in the description to go to part 2 and learn more about how amazing South Dakota is and the great experience we had and my near-death experience on the top of crumbling mountains. Check it back. See ya.